In Stephen R. Covey's magnificent best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, there is a quote by somebody else, which is written in the book, which has a lot of truth in it, mostly truth, but not absolute truth. I'd like to read out the quote and talk just a little bit about it. Here's the quote. In the last analysis, as Marilyn Ferguson observed, no one can persuade another to change. Each of us guards a gate of change that can only be opened from the inside. We cannot open the gate of another either by argument or by emotional appeal. Now, I agree with that up to a point. That last little bit, by emotional appeal. Certainly, if you appeal to somebody's emotions directly, the chances are they will not change. Very likely that they won't change. But there is another way to get them to change. And that has been done down the years by novelists and presenters of stories. Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote a book on anti-slavery, which was a bestseller which swept across the United States. And to many people, it was regarded as a trigger which got the American Civil War, the North and the South fighting against, or the North fighting against slavery. Harriet Beecher Stowe did this with a book. She put emotions in people's minds and hearts, not directly, but through the people in her story, in that book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. John Steinbeck in The Grapes of Wrath, which he wrote in the days of the Great Depression in America, about the Okies, eventually brought about legislation which helped a great deal in the government getting into public works and so forth and overcoming in America the Great Depression. So do not underestimate the power of a story. A story is very, very effective in changing people, changing them through emotion. As it was said, a direct appeal to emotion doesn't always work, but a approach through a story is far more subtle and can leave that lasting impression deep in the subconscious mind of a listener so that they do change. Now, even Jesus Christ told stories. The stories were meant to change the people. And of course, down the years, they've done that. The story of the Good Samaritan, etc. Do not underestimate the power of a story to put emotion into people. They might not change directly. They might not change immediately, but you've planted the seeds. And if enough plants, and if you water those seeds with further stories, as time goes by, you will get them to change. So do not think for one moment that an approach to emotion does not work. It's the way you approach emotion, the way you trigger it, the way you bring it into their hearts and minds. And you can do that best through storytelling.